It was 10 o'clock, 10:05 on Sunday night, and I heard 3 pops.
And you heard a noise that sounded like feedback.
I got all excited because I love fireworks.
And when I was looking at the stage, right when I thought, that's weird, there's no fireworks, it was like the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba of machine gun fire.
You start hearing shooter, shooter, gun, help.
People just started dropping to the ground and screaming.
We ran behind, we had a makeshift like retail bar, and we jumped behind it.
We were all huddled down, and the machine gun fire just kept going and going and going. And I remember thinking, oh my God, they're in here and they're gonna kill us.
I noticed all these people are literally trampling and climbing on each other to get over this back fence.
And all of these people were just running and screaming, and I ran out.
And a bunch of people were underneath the bathroom trailer, and they pulled me under, like physically grabbed my leg, and I hit the ground and they pulled me under.
I was arguing with the situation in my head, so I ran back into it, and I was like, no, this is not happening.
Every time you saw a pair of boots run by, every time you saw somebody stop from underneath the trailer, you thought, this is it.
I got across the street, and as I was running, it was like the bullet just went right by my head. And I remember thinking, oh my God, they're out here too.
And I turned around to run, and I tripped or fell or got pushed. I'm not exactly sure what happened. And I started getting trampled.
It was that sense that I thought we were surrounded by people and that they were going to kill us, and I didn't know where to go.
This group of guys come running out, and then one guy calls me over and he says, get over here, hold this jacket to this guy's head. All I know is his name is Chris, and he's been shot in the back of the head.
And I ran, and then I hit a fence, and there was nowhere for me to go, and so I took a right, and I just started running, and the bullets were like hitting things around us.
The gunfire was still going, and it just was going and going.
There was a garbage dumpster, and I jumped into the dumpster, and then I was in there, and I could hear the bullets hitting the dumpster, and people were jumping in. And then I thought, we're fish in a fishbowl and they're gonna kill us.
They come out with this guy and they say, we don't know where he was hit, we don't know who he is.
And I just looked at these people and said, I have to call my family because I didn't know if I was gonna die.
And I had my hand on his hand, and his fingers were just very barely wrapped in mine. And literally before their backs were even through that gate, I felt his fingers just go slack.
And these women gave me their phone, and I was running, and I called my son, and I just said, Max, there's something really serious happening.
His cell phone rang in his pocket, and the man reached in and pulled the cell phone out and handed it to me. And she said, are you sure? Like, are you sure he's dead? And I said, yeah.
And this lady, who now I know her name, it was Denai Padilla, she's like, come with me. My boyfriend's a Marine. And she grabbed my hand.
And, you know, I didn't know if I was calling him to say goodbye, and I didn't know if I was calling him to tell him I was okay, but I didn't know if I was gonna live.
I remember getting my first hit of battery on my phone and calling my son and telling him I didn't know if I was safe, because we didn't know whether we were safe at that point. We thought that there were shooters all over. We didn't know there was one.
People have really horrific stories about what happened that night. And, you know, for me, it was just a story of survival.
6 a.m., I pulled into the driveway and I was screaming and I was crying.
But one of the other survivors actually brought me to a church, and it was the only time I felt better for some reason. And so I started going to church. And I was getting ready to go. like I think it was less than a month after the shooting, I was getting ready to go. Someone said, turn on the news. And it was about Sutherland Springs. And like all the progress that I had made when I was finally getting out of bed and starting to do stuff, I was like, I just started shaking it.
It's just been this piecemealing, putting my life back together.
That's the world we live in, where we can't go to church or concerts or schools without getting bullets put in us.
I don't want anybody else to have to sit next to somebody that they don't know and tell their mother that her only child has died.
I started researching everything and I came across the Brady campaign.
Becoming a part of the Brady campaign, I feel like maybe there was a reason I did what I did.
It's not like I woke up and I'm like, I'm going to do something, but I knew that I could not do nothing.
All I know is that this is helping me heal, and that if I don't do something, honestly, that's not even an option.
The Brady campaign for me is that venue, and it aligns with my beliefs. And it is, for me, it's a sort of salvation.